How we doing, folks? It has been too long. We are back with you in a quint box. We had the quad box last year. We've upgraded it to quint box. It has been a long time coming. We've been in baseball mode. We're shifting gears to football mode. Dynasty is in full swings. You might have thought we were Terry McLaurin because we have also been absent to camp, but we have showed up. We've worked out negotiations with upper management. We are all back in the hot seat for a fire 2025, and we're excited to have you back with us. I am your host, Sky Guasco. You can find me on the Xbox at Sky Guasco, joined by the whole squad here. We got Matty Styles at Styles08, Davey Cruz at Cruiser128, Jeff Kezar at Jefferson__21, and Derek, don't call me Favret, at Derek_Favret. Very nice to be back in the saddle, everybody. You can find all things Razzball at RazzballNFL. We have all your sets all season long, draft season, off season, draft day, and throughout the fantasy playoffs, of course. Find everything right here on the YouTube channel as well, the Razzball Fantasy Football YouTube channel, and download the podcast for those of you on the road. I get most of my Razzball content that I don't post via podcast, constantly on the go. I recommend you do the same thing as well. And, of course, your source for all information, Razzball, for baseball and or football, Razzball.com. For this side of the fence, it's football.razzball.com. First night back in many months. We're very excited to be with you. We have a ton of announcements. We have some exciting fanfare that y'all can be participant in this year, so make sure you stay tuned to that. We all have a handful of announcements. We're going to go around the horn, reintroduce ourselves very quickly to everybody. You can find all the articles from all of our great writers and all of our excellent tools. Our updated rankings are available right now for free at football.razzball.com. Haven't had an intro in a while. That's a lot. Matty Styles, I'm going to kick it off with you, man. Great to be back. How are we feeling?
We're feeling good. As Gray has given us each a little bit of guaranteed money, which got us to sign a contract, and here we are.
Lots of incentives. A lot of incentives in those deals.
Yeah, a lot. Mostly steak dinners, mostly bourbon, things of that nature. So we're getting our fair share on the back end. We still do not have anybody on the team that has Razzball stock, which is disappointing, but you have to concede at some point to be able to get all the guaranteed money. So, but yeah, we're ready to go. I see former Razzball champion Robert Goldman has checked in. It's always good to see Bob. And we're gonna talk about not only his tournament that he has brought home the trophy, but we're going to talk about some other tournaments today. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Dave Cruz for the latest head count on Razzball 7, and with what our goal is before we cut off our entrance sometime tomorrow. We haven't decided the exact time. And look at who's there. You can always count on Jamie. Good to see Jamie. Hey. Somebody write that name down. We're going to have to make sure he's in a league real soon. Jamie, hang around. We've got a surprise for you during the show. All right, Dave, over to you. I'm going to mute it up since my laptop is probably giving you guys some feedback. So I'm going to mute up and turn it over to you.
Okay. Well, we're going to be starting up drafts for Razzball 7 on Monday. As Matt said, we're going to be cutting off registrations tomorrow. As of this morning, we got a head count from Jeff Stein at NFC of 221. And I know I signed up one guy today, and I'm after another one tonight. So we're going to get it. We're going to get it in to a point where we've got at least 19 divisions.
Yeah, Dave, what did we have? We woke up today. We were 7 short. You've signed one up, I've signed one up, and you've got a third. So that should put us at about 4 remaining to get to a full 19 divisions. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. That's the way I look at it.
I love that. Razzball is on its way. And Matt, can you remind everybody when the Razzball drafts are taking place?
They will start, I believe it's noon Eastern, July 28th, Monday, July 28th.
Monday at noon.
More information on that.
Yeah, on the NFC platform.
Excellent.
Yeah,
We love
shout
it.
out to Jeff Stein and Greg Ambrosius for hosting our tournament for free again. We appreciate the guys over at NFFC.
Yep, and if anybody needs help navigating or anything like that, reach out to me, reach out to Matt. We'll be glad to help you.
Once again, it's Cruiser128 on X or Styles08. And Jeff, we'll kick it down to you, my man. Give us an update on the dynasty things, because everybody right now, we're getting excited about redraft right around the corner, but dynasty drafts, Devy leagues, rookie leagues are underway already? Question mark. Like, there's a lot of dynasty going on right now. You've been knee deep in it already.
Yeah, it never ends when you're dealing with rookies in dynasty. So that's why I love dynasty. It's year round, so you got to stay with the latest. Now the news, information, drafts, pre-drafts, now training camp right around the corner. Some are already starting now, so monitoring those. Hopefully, no injuries. You hate to see injuries at this time early in the year, so monitoring everyone's health. Done a few rookie drafts already. A lot of guys I like. That'll help you in redraft as well as dynasty. I also want to shout out that we will be doing a PPR redraft for our listeners. So I'll be commissioning that league. So I'll be lookout for tweets and more information to come with those. But in terms of dynasty, there's just a lot to like with this draft class with the rookies. Cam Ward already stands out to me with the unfortunate news of Will Levis. We already knew he was going to be the starter, but he's definitely the starter now. With Levis being on the IR for the season with the right shoulder injury. So I think Cam Ward should be a top 3 pick. I know he went later in drafts and some single quarterback leagues and in super flex, but if you got him later in the first, you may have gotten a steal with him. So I do like his long-term value. And Mr. Derek, what you got for us, sir?
Yeah, well, first of all, no one's commented yet on my Gray Albright specs here that I pulled out, homage to the big boss on our first podcast tonight. So
is that a Browns right off the bat, Matt?
That might be. It might be.
Like a look at me, boss, look at me, like right off the. We try to be humble here. That's the brand name.
Well, B-Don's going to eventually move on, and someone's got to take that spot. So maybe that'll be.
Oh, okay. Working on moving up the ladder already in spring training. I like to see that.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, just finished the Scott Fish Bowl draft, and now I'm setting my sights on my favorite format, which is the guillotine leagues. Drafts will be coming up. We'll talk about ours here in a little bit later, but looking forward to it.
Excellent. I like that. And shout out Scott Fish. Shout out so many people running this great league for charity specifically. Of course, millions of leagues happen every single fantasy football year. But many of these that are big ones that are dedicated to charity and things for great causes is really awesome. So shout out Scott Fish and everything he does in the industry and everybody participating in that draft and many others as well. So appreciate that. All right. I want to give a shout out to also our Ben in Australia down under. Of course, it's tomorrow afternoon probably for him. So he's not on the podcast very often. He'll be back on Sunday Lives, of course, when he can make it. But he's also doing a lot in the dynasty front behind the scenes and also co-commissioning our listener league. Without any further ado, I will get into that and we'll go back around the horn here in a second with further announcements. But I will just kind of drop the ball and proceed on what Jeff had alluded to earlier, that we do have a few listener leagues this season. The main one that we've been doing for a while is Razzball, of course. Matt and Dave talked about that. You want more information, you want to sign up, you want to participate in that, please get a hold of both of them. Go onto our website, get more information, and get into that as soon as possible. Drafts are coming up soon. We also have a 12-team PPR, full PPR, because it's the only setting that matters. Full PPR, 12-team. If I do math in Razzball, we have 6 people already in it with us. That means 6 more slots are available for the 12-team redraft single quarterback league. You can join that. There is a buy-in. We'll save that for later on. There is a buy-in. We will have a winner, and we do that. But if you want to participate in that, please leave a comment right here in YouTube. We'll have kind of a first dibs on the YouTube channel coming on back, and then we will be going through the website and people hitting us up on X. So those of you in the chat right now, if you'd like to be a part of that or get some more information, just hit us up with it if you'd like. Let's do a hashtag Styles. That's STILES if you're interested in the redraft league. hashtag styles in the comment section. Our second league, Derek mentioned it earlier, also my favorite format at this point for fantasy football, the Guillotine League. If you've not played Guillotine yet, we've mentioned it every single season. We finally are doing one here at Razzball. It's a ton of fun. It is dangerous. It's a little spicy. It is unpredictable. And it's very challenging. It is super, super fun, though. The lowest team each week, the lowest scoring team in the entire league gets eliminated. That roster of players gets dumped into the free agent player pool for the rest of the league to choose from during that time. So if, and we don't want to hex anybody, but say a top wide receiver has a bogus week and that team is knocked out, that top wide receiver will be a free agent next week in pools for Fab like everybody else. Really, really fun topic, really, really fun draft. It is Superflex Plus, so there's a lot of fun there. So make sure you get involved there as well. If you'd like to be in touch with that one, we can do let's do a hashtag cruise on that one. That's CREWS, hashtag cruise for Dynasty, hashtag styles for the PPR. Looks like we already have one in for the PPR league. I like to see very much.
Bob Goldman's thrown his hat into the ring for the redraft league.
That's right. And Bob, thank you. That's a great question. Both of those. So Razzball is on NFC, and the other two leagues will be on Sleeper. We have friends everywhere. So Razzball will be on NFC. The other two will be on Sleeper. And we'll pass out those links to everybody and get that all sorted out. So if you're interested, go ahead. Again, that's Styles for the PPR League, Cruise for the Guillotine League. Lots of fun there. For draft nights, I know a lot of people are questioning. It'll be within the previous week or two, late August, before the season when draft season goes down. So we like to see that. Jamie, we will message you personally on the buy-ins. It's between about $10 and $25. We're trying to keep it light so we can have a lot of people participate, but enough to where people take it seriously. So it's $10 for the Guillotine League, and it's $25 for the PPR League. All right.
All right,
Mario.
Sky, can I make a suggestion?
Please.
Can we please go through Derek to issue Jamie the first non-Razzball writer spot in the Guillotine League? Has Jamie earned it? I think he has.
Absolutely. Jamie has earned a slot. I'm down to do that right now. Can we go around? Let's do thumbs up, thumbs down for Jamie in the league. Ready, vote. Oh, a 5-bar right off the bat. Get him in there. Get him in there. Done. 5 slots left, folks. Good luck.
No, Guillotine has 18 spots.
18.
Oh, Guillotine. Oh, he wants the Guillotine. All right. I love it.
So there's 11 left
Yeah.
after Jamie.
Okay.
11 left.
Love it. Awesome. Counting it down. I like it. All right. Let's see. We've announced the leagues. We've announced Razzball. We got the signups rolling. We are feeling good to go with that. I kind of stuck at Guillotine. Jamie, that's good news for us. That's good chatter. We like that. Because if you suck at Guillotine, that moves us up another week. So that's totally fine, man. No worries there. Good chat.
Love it when you try something new.
Yeah, I like it, man. I like it. All right, and again, we'll get those draft dates out once we have a full league. So we'll send an email to you. We want to make sure we get your email address and get all that locked up. So make sure you reach out to somebody, and let's get that dialed in here through Derek on X, if that's best for you, Derek.
Yeah, works for me. Yeah, reach out to me, Jamie, on X, or comment on one of my articles. Give me your email that you want for Sleeper, and I'll get you hooked up.
That same for you, Bob. Reply to one of my articles. We'll communicate back and forth that way to get you into the PPR league.
Love it. All right. Another topic here, and I'll go back around the horn here to see if we're missing anything right off the bat. Love it. Got questions already. Marius, we're going to get to you in a second here. Let's get our heads around the Browns backfield. Pour one out for Nick Chubb. No longer a Brown, but just forever a Brown. Man, one of my favorites. I want to re-announce, kind of make sure people are fully aware that our rankings are on the website. They're updated consistently when something significant enough to update our rankings happens, we do that. We have divvied up the positions through all of us. So all of us handle one position essentially. So if you're commenting on an article for running backs, for example, that's my position. I am super hyper focused on running backs. Matt is going to be your guy for wide receivers. I'm not really paying attention to wide receivers in that vessel right now. So if you have a question on that, I might forward you on, or they might as well. Please go check out our rankings available right now at football.razzball.com. We also have DST and kickers, folks. We have Dynasty available as well. We have a top 150 also held down. So pretty much whatever platform we're looking for is available right now at football.razzball.com. All righty. Jeff, if you're ready, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm going to. I'm going to kick off with you here for a couple of notes about the Browns backfield, mainly because it might be run by a rookie. It's been kind of a mess the last couple of years. Quick thoughts on the Browns backfield, and we'll open it up to the panel.
Yeah, it's a hot mess, just like their quarterback room. Quinshon Judkins, drafted to be the starter, got arrested recently for domestic violence, unfortunately. No really information on the severity of it, any consequences, but he's supposed to be the starter. If not, Jerome Ford lives on to see more touches. They also draft another running back, Dylan Simpson, so he may get some burn there, but really not sure what to expect from the Browns offense right now moving forward at this time. I'm kind of staying away from them until it's just, with Deshaun Watson, Sanders, I know Joe Flacco is there, who we all love, so we have that going for us. But outside of that, I'm not really sure if you want to invest in the Browns offense at this point in time.
Where would you place Dylan Sampson and Ford? Double-digit rounds for each, one ahead of the other?
Yeah, I think Ford, because he's proven it as of right now on that system. It's just hard if you're depending on the format. I'd give more stock into Ford right now, and then just kind of wait and see what happened with Judkins. And then I think Sampson is third, but he's the third in line that I'd be drafting him in that order at this current time, just because we never know what's going to happen. But who knows? Quinshon could end up being like Rashee Rice, and nothing happens this year, and we're worried about nothing. So it's kind of hard to say until we know more on the severity of those charges. But as Goldman said, they're very smart to grab Simpson late in drafts because he may get double-digit touches early in the year.
Jerome Ford, 2 years ago, 2023, 200 touches, 813 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Last year, we basically cut the touches in half, 104 for 565. Much more efficient, 5.4 yards per carry, but just 3 touchdowns, obviously, on an anemic offense. It's not even a pop quiz. I'm just going to tell everybody because I don't think anyone would guess it necessarily. The Cleveland Browns ran the most plays in the NFL last year, per game and totally. Didn't score any points, but they ran a lot of plays. And we love that for fantasy football. So it is a mess there at quarterback. Shador's his own thing that we'll get into throughout the season. What does the wide receiver core look like? And it doesn't matter what the Browns are doing. They have 3 of the best teams in football. Steelers are hit or miss, but still always competitive enough game by game. And obviously the Ravens and Bengals for NFL and fantasy purposes are elite. So tough to be a Browns fan once again, but we'll see what happens there. All righty, let's see. We have any other questions in the chat box? Feel free to drop those in here. Jamie's jumping in here. Bought Judkins today for a 26 second. Should be a late and a second best team. I like that as well.
Right. That's good.
And I like that a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Under 2.5 wins. Oof. Jamie just bagging on the Brownies early. Yikes.
We don't condone betting on this show, but we are happy to look at your bet slips.
Facts.
We don't not condone it either, if that is clear.
Right.
Yeah. So like you could bet And we're not going to tell you, hey, we don't agree with that, but we're also not going to say, hey, we don't not agree with that. Clear?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Simple.
I think that's a good parenting strategy in general.
Yeah, it's science. It's just
Right.
science. Yeah.
Well, let's take a minute here and let's look at this wager. 2.5 wins plus 800. So tell me which one, where the wins are on the Cleveland Browns team. I've got their schedule pulled up. Home versus Cincinnati.
L.
Anyone? All
Let's do
right.
this.
You know,
Listen up.
you can't. I wouldn't. The Bengals screwed me last year, and they lost to the
Well,
Patriots week 1. So
Jeff,
things can
remember,
happen.
we don't do recency bias. Remember, Jeff.
I know.
We let our trauma go, and we move forward.
All right.
Yeah.
At Baltimore.
It's tough to not win 3 games in the NFL.
Home versus Green Bay. At Detroit. Home versus Minnesota. At Pittsburgh. That's the first 6 weeks.
That's
Can
an
we
easy
see
0
Owen?
6. Not a
0-6 right
But
there.
then they've got Miami at home, at New
Miami
England,
at home. Yeah, Miami at home, maybe.
at the
At New
Jets,
England,
at
the
the
Jets.
Raiders in week 12, Tennessee
Yeah.
in week 14.
Chicago,
I
Buffalo,
think you
Pittsburgh,
can
Cincinnati.
I think you can kiss that money goodbye, personally, Jamie. But
I don't know. I see 2 wins. I could see it easily going 2-15.
I think they've got a good enough defense that they can stumble into at least 3 wins.
Yeah, let's not discount the last 3 or 4 games of the season in Cleveland that could be blizzards or windy or whatever, that fall in their favor. So I'm not sure I would put money on that, Jamie, personally, but I like the bet. And at plus 800, you're not betting that expecting to win anyway. So I like it, right? What the hell? Why not? Yes, correct. I've been corrected by the panel. I want to make sure I don't misstrade all of our kicker fans. Bob has retired, so we've much retired kickers from the panel, unless you actually have a question about it. So I misspoke. DST and kickers in my brain are like one line item in fantasy football forever. So I have misspoken. We do not have kicker rankings, thank goodness. But we do have DST. We have top 50. We have Dynasty. We have everybody else. So keep track there.
We don't have kickers in either one of our listener leagues either.
No, we don't. Well, the best kicker of all time and one of my favorite players of all time is somebody we don't talk about anymore. So it's no fun to be cool with kickers. You know what I mean? It's just kind of lame. So
yeah, and you know what the kids would say? He brings the ick.
Serious ick. He was mid for a second and then really bad.
Jefferson knows. Jefferson's a girl dad. So am I. It's just the
Same
ick.
Yeah, I get it. Jamie joined Kicker League. Unfortunately, we're not the program for you, Jamie. You can tune in elsewhere from here on if you'd like to. We would still love your $10 contribution to Guillotine, though. So just phone that in, and then we'll catch you another time.
I think I think if he wants to draft a kicker in the Guillotine League, we should let him.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll take some Cheerios each week. That's fine. Let's talk about him. Nicky Chubb to the Houston Texans. Anybody excited about that? We got Joe Mixon over there still. Nice offense last year.
So in moving to Texas, there should be no state tax, but it appears as if one of his bees was taxed when he moved to Texas.
He's just a 1B. He's just a 1B Chubb now, according to Marius.
Well, he had to leave one. He had to leave one in Cleveland.
Yeah, he apparently left a bee in Cleveland.
I thought the killer bees were in Miami.
Not for many years have they been there. Bob Brodzinski.
Well, the killer bees. How about the Houston Astros of the 90s? Oh man, Derek Bell. Come on now.
Derek Bell was the most underrated of that group.
I agree.
No press.
I agree. Well, it's because the other two are highly rated, but I understand. All right, I'm looking at.
Did you say highly roided?
Oh god. You leave Bagwell out of this.
You leave Bagwell out of this. One of my favorite batting stances ever, and Craig Biggio with the pine tar helmet. That was my favorite thing in baseball for a decade. Absolutely. Let's talk about Nicky Chubb here for just a second. I want to bring up just like philosophy-wise, names in fantasy football. Names versus production on your fantasy team is something I think we all are challenged by, and something that I feel proud of myself about over the years with fantasy football is outgrowing the urge to draft a guy because I've always drafted a guy, or because I like watching him play on Sundays, or because he's a great clubhouse guy, or he's good in the community, or whatever, but he just isn't for fantasy football. I love Nick Chubb. I have a jersey, huge fan, devastated when he got injured like everybody else. I can't right now, without Joe Mixon and anybody else having a situation, I cannot think of a scenario that I would draft him outside of a best ball or dynasty just because I have so many picks. Maybe he's on waivers or something at this point. Other than that, I can't imagine taking Nick Chubb, who was a perennial monster guy forever. But I just got to see it first, obviously. Now, if he's healthy, he can bounce back, obviously, and be a steal in late rounds. But just too gruesome for me. What do you guys think?
My problem is I just don't see where he's going to get a lot of carries, right? You know, he's probably going to spell Mixon, and he's certainly reasonable as an insurance for injury, but I don't see that he can do anything that Mixon can't. You know, maybe goal line stuff. Maybe they, use him to spell Mixon, but he's not going to necessarily be a factor in the passing game. So he's not going to be the third down back. He's probably going to be the back that gets 4 or 5 series a game.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with you both. And here's why. He's traditionally, when we see running backs coming off of knee injuries, and granted his was at a different level, totally get it. But this is second year back, and that's when we really see them, confidence is back, they're running with power. We see the real Nick Chubb again, and we have an opportunity to do that this year. Joe Mixon's already dealing with ankle injuries already. We just started training camp, and he's already dealing with some injuries. Quick quiz: how many games did Joe Mixon play last year? Anyone venture a guess?
It's like 9.
12.
No, haven't heard it yet.
14.
14 is the answer. So he's relatively durable, but he's not certainly not made of stone. So I think Chubb's going to have an opportunity. I mean, they probably will bring him along a little bit slower, but he's going to have an opportunity to carve out some space. And it's not going to be much of an if. It's going to be much of a when Joe Mixon opens that door for him, even if it's for a short time. Chubb runs through. He's got now we're at a 50-50 timeshare or close to it. So I think he's worth a late round flyer. Stash him on your bench. See how it goes. If he's getting 5, 6, 8 snaps a game in the first 3 or 4 games, you need to make a move. Okay, you're not losing really any draft capital there, but I think he's worth a shot. So you might see him on one of my rosters in our listener league.
Well, I hate to disagree with you, but I don't think you're really disagreeing with us. So
no, I think so. I mean, Well, okay. So next, what, Sky? You can't answer this. Where does Sky rank Nick Chubb in his running back list? Anyone venture a
It's
guess?
got to be over 50, probably over 60.
58. He's got him right underneath Blake Corum, Marshawn Lloyd,
He's a
Roshan
handcuff,
Johnson.
which breaks my heart. I don't even want to talk about it,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Right. So yeah. So in my mind, I'd rather have Nick Chubb than some of those other names right there.
So
That's
how
a fair statement.
crazy will the fantasy internet world go when he has that first preseason explosive run that's very similar to he's squatting 47,000 pounds and it goes crazy on the internet? He's going to have one of those runs at some point in camp or in the preseason, and people are going to lose their collective minds over it. He's going to move up the draft board, but I don't know when that's coming, but it's going to happen.
I already saw somebody say that, with Patrick Mahomes in shorts and nobody rushing, saying, seeing Xavier Worthy make a diving catch, saying that the Chiefs' deep game was back. So, yeah, I don't doubt for a minute your scenario is outrageous.
Yeah, training camp highlights. But Jamie makes a point down here that I was going to bring up is that the Texans did draft Woody Marks out of USC, played at Mississippi State, good pass catcher. While in college, he caught 60 balls his freshman year, 83 his sophomore year, and then 47 last year at USC. He might be their third down back. So, they drafted him prior to signing Chubb. So I'm very curious to kind of see how this backfield plays out. I could see a situation where the Texans have ambitions for the playoffs and probably the weakest division where my Jags play. And so they're going to want to keep Chubb and Mixon healthy. So I could see them splitting carries throughout the season and have, Marks spell them on third downs. So with it being very muddied, unless things get a lot clearer as training camp goes on and get closer to the season, this is another backfield I might stay out of. Love the receivers in Houston, but I'm probably backing out of the running backs.
So I'll jump in here really quick here on my rankings rebuttal, if you will, Matt, to answer your question. Hypothetically, maybe not hypothetically, like I hope he's going to get run in preseason. He has to make sure he's healthy and gets the system and all that. So Nick Chubb probably be running some more than Mixon in the preseason. Let's say he has a nice run. He has like 6 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown in a game. I'd probably bump him up to a low end RB3, which would be like the higher end handcuffs. So still a handcuff, but like just some names I'd probably throw him around. Tyjae Spears, Najee Harris, Zach Charbonnet, Ramondre Stevenson, Scatterbo. He's going to be awesome as the Giants, but I don't think he's a starter right away. Let me some Trey Benson and Austin Eckler, Ray Davis, Jordan Mason, Rashad White. All those guys I think are the same player until they're not. Nick Chubb I think would be in the front end of that because he's Nick Chubb. And to his credit, and something not to forget, is he did come back late last season and play a little bit. The Browns were horrendous, as we know, with 0 pass game, at least effective pass game. And he ran for 4.5 yards per carry in the final 2 games of the season against the Chiefs and the Steelers. 2 formidable defenses, obviously. My major concern, if Nick Chubb is the guy, I have 0 faith in Shedeur Sanders, unfortunately. Just a personal thing. I'll get into that as the season goes on. I don't think the Browns' pass game is going to scare anybody. And the only time it's going to scare anybody is when they throw 40 times a game when they're down 2 touchdowns. When, as we know, unfortunately, the only kryptonite to Nick Chubb healthy is a bad game script. Right? He can catch passes, but he's not that type of running back. So if they're getting boat raced and it turns into a passing game, Nick Chubb's hurting. And I don't believe in the pass game offense for the Browns to keep anybody honest. And Mike Tomlin and Harbaugh and these guys are going to be putting 12 in the box against whoever they're playing at quarterback. So I'm just worried about the offense and Nick Chubb in general. I love the player, hate the game at this point. Looks like Goldman did trade up for him. Again, if you have like a 4th rounder in Dynasty or something that you're just getting rid of, or depth pieces, or a handcuff of a handcuff, I like all that stuff. To have them on your roster in general is fine. We just obviously need to see it to make it make sense.
Yeah, one last note on Chubb before we move on. Again, it's Cleveland and not Houston, but he had over almost 60% of the red zone touches last year in his comeback year. Whereas if you look at Mixon in Houston last year, he's just about 36% of the red zone touches. So we have a split backfield perhaps, but we have a situation where he might vulture a number of touchdowns. We see that all the time with some aging running backs who still have a little bit of juice, and they tend to get the the red zone touches and the goal line touches. So again, maybe some value there, but definitely definitely going to be a 4th, 5th running back or someone you stash until we see. But I think there's some upside there.
I like it. Jeff, can you just reiterate yourself, please, on the dynasty value here for Marks?
Yeah, so when looking at my updated rankings, I have him at 43, but I had him higher early on until the Chubb signing, so I want to see more. But currently he's probably a 4th rounder. So time to see how things play out for him. But I do like his draft capital being in the 4th round for Houston.
I like it. I just had to make sure Kareem Hunt is still on the Chiefs, correct?
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, I'll take Hunt over Chubb.
I mean, Chubb over Hunt for me.
What a fun conversation this was 5 years ago, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
You know what worries me about Kareem Hunt in Kansas City, and it's not that downfield passing game that you just talked about, Sky. It's Elijah Mitchell. I mean, Sky, I know I'm talking to your heart here, but
is that a Go Niners, Derek? Was that a Go Niners?
Elijah Mitchell's on the Chiefs now. Big if, but if he stays healthy, I mean, he is a good player, and I think he's a better fit there than Kareem Hunt, who's clearly on the downside. So
yes,
even though he's the second on the depth chart right now, I think he's really 3rd, to be honest. Situational play, or he'll be available to break things up. But I think Elijah Mitchell has a chance to really carve out some meaningful playing time if he stays healthy.
It's a big if. Unfortunately, his 14 games or whatever over 5 years for the Niners were super fun, but like all Niners, he got injured. For all the youngsters in the audience, do yourself a favor and Google Kareem Hunt opening night 2017. Just grab some popcorn, maybe 7 or something, and just enjoy that highlight reel. Incredible rookie season. Led the league in rushing.
When he ran all over the Patriots.
Phenomenal.
So that Derek, so the Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb talk, it's got my bold prediction blood kind of heating up a little bit
already.
We're not gonna get there tonight, but that just reminds me that we've got to get our bold predictions list started up soon. Of course, the listeners, they love that. Baker Mayfield 2 years ago, Puka Nacua 2 years ago. I mean, I'm clearly the Nostradamus of bold predictions for this group, just with writing Baker and Puka 2 years ago, and I will ride that until I retire from the show.
It's no Austin Eckler fade, but I hear you.
Yeah. Oh boy, good. Yeah, Derek's riding that horse till the wheels fall off as well.
Yeah.
Not only was that a great call, it was so offensive to you that it gets extra points.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, but nailed it. And yeah, we'll see.
So are we going to do? What do you think? Are we going to do full bold predictions, or are we going to do those by our own position?
Well, if we're going to follow your lead, they're going to be offensively bold predictions, where they're going to be so bold they're going to piss people off.
Love that. Love that. I think we need to go. We need to disregard on the behind the scenes for us. We need to disregard positionals for that because I don't know. It's got to be fun. I got to have something like, Ricky Pearsall is the obvious number one wide receiver for the 49ers. Like things like that, I have to be able to say. And positionally right now, I'm not able to. So I want to make sure that that's okay.
Love you, Robert, but we got to take that off the screen. We just
No,
can't.
I think there's a glitch in the matrix because I was right about something else. Amazing. Yeah, I don't know. We're having some glitches, Bob. We'll try to get that comment and a screenshot of it for you. I might even frame it and autograph, sign it for you.
I love it.
But yes, I was correct about Marvin Harrison Jr. And by the way, Marvin Harrison Jr. will be part of my bold predictions for 2025. Bank it.
Love that.
Not to throw gas on the fire, but I think you were right about Brian Thomas Jr. last year too.
I mean, if we're going to keep score, let's keep score all the way. I was wrong about Malik Neighbors. That's for sure.
Is that Jags drop number one of the season for Styles? Or maybe for Derek, I guess. Love it.
Yeah,
we like the Jags for fantasy football.
Love the Jags because their defense is
and then we feel sorry for Jeff as a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I texted Derek this morning, and he's a really good friend, so he didn't reply. I started third round reversal, Battle of the Sexes. I got an invite from some of the ladies of the women of fantasy football. I started from the 11th spot, third round reversal. Amon-Ra St. Brown. You hear the dog? The dogs are even excited to play with their toy. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas through 3 rounds. Suck it.
That's on brand.
Yep. And Lisa Hippard, who many of you have recognized from the Xbox, she started at the 112 with Bowers, McBride, Kittle.
Oh,
Nice.
Triple T.
Yeah.
Nice.
Huh? Yeah.
How big a premium do tight ends have in that league?
I believe it's 3.5 per reception. Wide receivers are 2.5 per reception.
Nice. Well,
that sounds almost SFB-ish.
Yeah. Now I'm not good at math, but I think I'm already charted for 1,300 targets. My quick math for those three players.
You are. My excitement for you is Aaron Jones and Tyrone Tracy as your running backs.
Or Jordan Mason and Eli Mitchell. Suck it, Sky.
Ooh. Nice. Yeah. Go, two Niners. Go for it.
So
Michael James.
We got Styles down drinking the Eli Mitchell Kool-Aid.
You see how I planted that seed right here tonight? I just planted that seed.
Well, Derek, you got to be careful, though. You might miss out on him in guillotine then if you keep talking about Styles is going to swoop him up. And there's no Elijah Mitchell for you week 1.
Well, I'll just wait for him. He'll be available in week 2.
Yeah, I will not last very long in the guillotine league. That is a fact.
Hey, man, you just have to last longer than Jamie. That's it.
Is that a bold prediction, Matt?
There's nothing bold about that. That is not a format that I have been successful in. So
Dave,
I will bring a broom
and
keep the room clean.
That's what they call a lock in Vegas.
Yeah. Bet the under.
All right, gentlemen.
Stone cold lock of the century of the week.
Minus 125.
Exactly, yeah. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to put everybody on the spot here. I'm going to buy some time so everybody can pull it up on their spot. We did not talk about this, but I think it'd be fun. We started talking about my rankings. I want to talk about your guys' rankings. We are going to have multiple episodes involving rankings, position breakdowns. We are full send on the Razzball Fantasy Football Podcast. I just want to give everyone a little niblet, a little appetizer, if you will, of everybody's rankings. So just pull up your rankings right now. I have 2 questions. Real simple. You don't have to go in depth if you don't want to. Just name the players in a sentence or 2. 2 questions. We're setting up your first set of official rankings and getting them published last week, which are available at football.razzball.com right now. When you're looking at your own rankings, which player jumped off the page as a holy smokes, he's really high. But it makes sense. I'm putting him there on purpose. But that's surprising to see me put him that high for whatever reasons. Vice versa. Who's a player that when you were done with your rankings, you're like, uh-oh, that guy's Nick Chubb at 58 or whatever? Breaks my heart. Sucks. But that's how the cookie crumbles. So I'd like to know who surprised you on the positive, who surprised you on the negative. We'll go around the horn. Styles, are you ready for us? Get after it, my man.
So
I got quarterbacks. So I can go first if you want, if you need time.
Okay, Matt. We'll do it. We'll do an order. That's fine. And yeah, please let everybody know what position you're doing. Thank you.
Yeah, so I got quarterbacks. The player that's high for me, probably higher than most, is Kyler Murray. I have him ranked as my 6th quarterback. I really, really like the Arizona offense this year. I think it's in that team and him in particular is in a really good spot, both with his legs and second year with Marvin Harrison Jr. We talked about him already. So I'm really high on Kyler Murray. I have him ranked number 6. And on the flip side, I am not high at all on Justin Fields. Many folks are taking him high, including Bob in here in the 5th. But no, to me, I have him ranked below JJ McCarthy, below Matt Stafford, below Michael Penix. I have him actually at 24. So I am definitely not bullish on Justin Fields in green with the Jets. So that's my high, that's my low.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
What do you see? What do you see there? He's not going to get the stats, or is he not going to keep the job?
No, it's the stats. I mean, yeah, we know he can use his legs, but I mean, it's the Jets. He's got one weapon, and I just don't see it. I just don't see why everyone's so bullish on him. I just don't. I think he'll be okay, but if you're drafting him to be your number 1 quarterback, thank you is all I'm saying. I would have him as maybe a 2 or a super flex, but I'm definitely off of that train. I mean, he couldn't really beat out Russell Wilson last year in Pittsburgh, and now we're expecting a renaissance in with the Jets. That just doesn't add up to me.
Who's the backup in the Jets?
Exactly. Who is the backup?
It's not Chad Pennington. I know that.
Not Zach Wilson.
No, it is Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, so I don't expect him to be pushing at all. But so I mean, he's got the clear path. He's got the job. But I just don't see. I mean, he's never blossomed as an NFL quarterback. He's been okay, but he's never blossomed in. How does going to the Jets change that? I just don't see it.
And the year he was good, the year that we used to bust Bob's chops about, right? Because Bob brought it up incessantly. It was because he ran the ball for 900 and some odd yards, 900 to 1,000 yards, but he can't throw a 15-yard out. He just can't do it. He's not good.
In 2022, he had 1,100 rushing yards for 8 touchdowns, but then he had 17 passing touchdowns with 11 interceptions that same year.
So I think the reason that he is higher on some lists now are based on the type of drafts that are occurring right now. He's got Fishbowl, which is crazy for carries, first downs, etc. So he comes with more value, hype-wise, for his legs and his ability to carry the ball, even when he's just not carrying it well. His legs are now, 3 years older than they were, and there's not a lot of tread on quarterbacks. Unless your name's Mike Vick, you're not running that much for your career. And again, if they just put an extra spy in there, not every defense is going to do that because you could sit back and force him to throw. He's not good. My fear is that it makes Garrett Wilson overvalued. That's not my overvalue. I'm not talking about him now, but just I think I'm passing on Garrett Wilson when
don't get me
around that.
wrong. I mean, if he drops down the board and there's a really good value there, then I'm not opposed.
Yeah,
but I don't. I just don't see him dropping right now.
Yeah, I was high on Garrett Wilson last year. I'm not as high this year. I'm actually finding him in some of the drafts I'm in at a decent value.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to take him. I agree with both of you guys about Justin Fields, but I still think Garrett Wilson can be a good value. Not as a high end wide receiver one, but as a lower end wide receiver one.
Yeah.
All right, Sky, who's your high-low on the running back side? Or are you excusing yourself or recusing yourself from this question?
I am recusing myself. Is that a government term? I don't think I've ever heard that before. Recuse.
I can't confirm.
They use it for judges a lot and lawyers.
It's a litigious
Sounds
term.
like a government term to me.
It's a conflict of interest thing.
Well,
so
let's just say this.
What's your conflict?
Yeah, let's just say this. Alvin Kamara will be higher in my rankings, will be drafted by me every single time over Breece Hall. I have Alvin Kamara at 13. Breece Hall's at 14. We're done bagging on the Jets, at least for now. So I'll save my Breece Hall hype. You can go read my articles at football.razzball.com. Spoiler alert, Alvin Kamara, the OG, stays true. The Saints are as bad as they can possibly be, and he was still awesome. He was top 10 in a horrible offense. They're not going to get horribler. Chris Olave might actually play football this year. That should help them. This whole, they have no offense, blah, 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 that's half the NFL these days. Alvin Kamara has risen through that multiple times in his career. He's the dump down king, PPR king. He doesn't take big hits. He stays healthy. He scores touchdowns, usually. I'm a huge Alvin Kamara fan. I'm taking him. And right now I have him at 13. You're never going to need him as RB13. He's going at RB19 in the back of the third or fourth round. I'll probably draft him early fifth round. How old does Eric come out in his 38th season? 29. Just like all of the running backs we love this year. Now
he's been 29 for the last 5 years. So
exactly. And still productive. So I'm going to
that's it.
Like fine wine, a little vino, there.
Just
man.
Like my first wife.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna. Well, I wasn't gonna say that, but you know what I mean. Like you can say that. The next guy, who's also been 29 for a couple decades, he's no longer a Packer, so we can throw shade on Aaron Jones. Love Aaron Jones, big fan. Also, huge fan of the Dreads, the whole thing. He's basically Alvin Kamara with a different jersey on, or used to be. The Vikings offense could be top 10 in the NFL. It could also be bottom top 10 in the NFL real fast. I'm nervous about it. Also, Jordan Mason's not exciting, but there's competition there. And when Aaron Jones is healthy, he's awesome. But he seems to be slowing down and not getting as much tread. I don't see the elusiveness that he used to have anymore. I don't think he's going to catch very many passes because there's so many catch passing weapons in that offense with TJ Hawkinson back and healthy now, although maybe they only have one wide receiver at this point. We'll talk about later. But Aaron Jones, unfortunately, is on my ranks a little bit. He's at 24 for me. He's floating about 16, 17 for ECR right now. So my plus would be Alvin Kamara. My fade as of now would be Aaron Jones. Alvin Kamara celebrating his birthday in 3 days. And he did tell me to tell all of you guys we are invited. It's just a matter of if you're willing to make the trip. So just send him a text or something. Matty Styles, you're on wide receivers.
Yes. Do not be shocked if by the time I put out my final rankings that DJ Moore, currently ranked 21st, is not replaced in full by the current guy ranked 30th. Same team, same position, Rome Odunze, 21, DJ Moore, 30. And I don't think that's a bold prediction. I look for Rome Odunze to own the targets and to own the yardage and to own the touchdowns for the Bears. And I think as much as it tastes like bile, Caleb Williams, if he does what he's told to do and stops looking for the 70-yard bomb, he can be a productive NFL quarterback. Mark it down, bold prediction for quarterbacks, even though I don't do quarterbacks. Caleb Williams is the first Bears quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards. 2025.
So before you move on, Matt, this is important that we document this here. So that's a Bears shout out and a Washington Husky shout out in the same sentence. I just want to make sure we got that documented.
Yeah, don't want to talk about it, but yeah, can we move on to tight ends?
Who's your fade?
Fantasy makes bitches of us all.
Sure does.
Amen.
So is that your rise and faller, same team, same situation, Matt?
Yeah, I think that Brian Thomas is going to creep up my board. I have him at 8 right now, and I think that's too low. Behind Puka, behind Nico Collins, and I think Nico Collins is way too high considering that other than Jaden Higgins, there is not a pass catcher, and Stroud looked absolutely awful last year. So, I think that my big takeaway is I think DJ Moore is not getting along with Ben Johnson's play calling. So give me DJ Moore to move down my list while Roma Dunze moves up that list. I will take it's awful because he is a Husky and he is a Bear. I will take every share of Roma Dunze that I can for this season. Every single one of them.
It was an animal in Washington. All right.
Give me the maybe I'll take the Penix Odunze stack this year.
Oh, with Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go on to tight ends clearly because you mentioned that guy.
Well, it was my professional segue into tight ends.
Oh, the tight ends. I can tell you who the two guys that I think I've probably got ranked real high are Evan Ingram going to Denver, and I'm still in on 35-year-old Zach Ertz at number. I have got Ingram at number 7, and I've got Ertz at number 10. I think both of those guys are going to be mid to low tight end ones this year. And a guy I thought that I ranked very lowly that I thought I would get beat up on is Colston Loveland, the rookie for the Bears, who is just 21 years old. The Bears have not shown to be a great tight end offense. That may change with Ben Johnson. We'll see. But I still think Kmet's got the upper hand on that team as far as being on the field more. To me, Loveland's just 21, just turned 21 right before the draft. I know he was drafted 10th overall, but that doesn't necessarily translate to playing time for rookie tight ends. I thought I was going to be horribly low on him, but I turned out to be kind of on brand. I noticed that Rudy had him as the 32nd tight end. I have him 36, and I know also the fantasy first down is not real high on Loveland for this year. I just think he's much better. I think he's just much better left to dynasty leagues for 2025. Talk to me a couple of years. I'll be happy to draft him then.
Well, nobody was more excited about Evan Ingram, I believe, than Derek and Matt last year. And I know we were excited about that, right? I mean, he's had the tools forever. He's no Darren Waller, but I'm excited to see him, Darren Waller.
Only on the injury side.
Right. And Zach Ertz. Shout out Zach Ertz for disappearing for 5 years after the Super Bowl, coming back for Washington last year and being exceptional down the stretch. I like that call, Dave.
He had a couple of good years in Arizona before he got hurt.
Fair. I'll give him that. Waller already on the team. God damn it. That's right. He's got a backup.
That doesn't mean anything. I don't worry about the PUP in mid-July.
Yeah.
He can come off of that anytime.
Fair. All right, so we got a couple risers, a couple followers. Let's wrap it up here. Jeff, who you got for us?
So kind of sticking with Dave, I had Colston Loveland as my 8th overall player in Dynasty rankings. I think for this year, he may not be the best play, but I think long term, I really like him. You know, he was compared by Ben Johnson to Sam Laporte, who we know did very well in that Lions system with Ben Johnson. So I just think that new head coach comes in, his first pick in the draft, 10th overall, is a tight end. And he was taking over Tyler Warren, who was the consensus #1 tight end coming out of college. So that tells me that Ben Johnson has big plans for this young man. I know he's 21, so from a dynasty perspective, I'm trying to grab him everywhere I can. He's 8th right now. He could be higher. Not saying it's Brock Bowers or anything, but schematically, I think he'll get lots of targets. Now, staying on the Bears, kind of what Matt was saying, I have Luther Burden really low. I have him like at 19. A lot of other places have him like 12 or 13 in ranks. I'm not as high on him. A lot of his passes were behind the line of scrimmage at Missouri, and I don't know where he's going to fit in this offense. He's got to go against Rome Odunze, a first overall pick. They still have DJ Moore there. They draft Colston Loveland as well. And who knows if they try to get a running back next season that kind of fits the mold that Ben Johnson likes, and then Jahmyr Gibbs style of running. So I just don't know where his targets are going to come from in the future. So he's a guy I'm kind of fading from a dynasty perspective. I'd rather have guys like Jack Besh, Trey Harris, even Kyle Williams. So look for those kind of guys at that range.
I like it. Does anybody want to actually answer this question? Better quarterback for Loveland or Warren, Jeff? Colts or Bears?
Loveland for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Loveland's going to have the better quarterback play. I just don't know that he's going to be on the field as much to see it. I think Warren's got a good shot of being the tight end one in Indy.
I think to start off, I agree with you there. All right, everybody, we have topped over an hour, which feels amazing, and it feels like 5 minutes being back in the hot seat here. We have many more hours to come here on the Razzball Fantasy Football Show, but some of us have to go to bed. Other halves of us haven't even eaten dinner yet. So we're excited about both of those things. So we're going to let you go on both coasts, and we'll give a shout out to everybody all over the world tuning into Razzball here on the YouTube channel. Once again, I want to go around the horn real quick, gentlemen. One thing you're super excited about Razzball specifically this offseason heading into draft season. Is it Razzball? Is it the listener leagues? Is it the way we've done rankings? Is it the team camaraderie? Is it the podcast host? What makes you most excited about Razzball right now? Styles, I'm going to start with you. We'll go to Davey and around, and I'll wrap us up.
For me, it's the 2 leagues that you guys have come up with, right? I was kind of on the peripheral for that. I think that getting a closer relationship with the readers and listeners is something that a lot of sites don't do. And so I think that if we start to get comments on our article, we throw those into the Gonculator and try to find 5 folks to participate in the PPR. And I think we're down to 11 for the G League. That'll be great. Jamie's already into the G League, even though he's crying about it already. And Bob Goldman is in the PPR. So let's get after it and get some comments on those articles and start filling those leagues up. And I'm going to bed. I got to cut out a little bit early. Dog's crying. He's got to go to the restroom. I love you guys, and it's great to be back. And let's keep it moving.
Love you too, buddy. Good night. David Cruz, what are you excited about, my man?
Yeah. What am I excited about out of all those choices? The answer is yes. All of it. 100%. It's good to see you guys. It's good to be back on the air. It's good to be back writing articles. It's been too long, and I'm just looking forward to the season. Training camps are starting to get ramped up. We're back in football season. So I love summer, but after the Mets made me shoot my TV in March, I was pretty much done in baseball. So
that's all right. Maybe you guys will trade for a power next year, just like the Giants did, and it'll work out. Jefferson, how about you, buddy?
I just look forward to playing Bobby Bonilla for the 45th straight year.
Oh, and David Wright too.
Yeah, let's get him.
Jeff, what makes you, my man?
I'm just excited for the banter, getting the group back. I've been looking at Dynasty, so now I get to finally talk about it on air again. So getting y'all's opinions on things, I just love just talking shop. It was an hour, like you said earlier. I can't believe it's been an hour. It really feels like it's been like 10, 15 minutes. And I'm like, I got more stuff to talk about, but we got to go for the next show.
Love it. What's your favorite?
Well, besides the glasses, of course. No, it's
The
I,
main character.
I am so stoked for our guillotine league for the Razzball. It's gonna be so much fun. Again, ever since you introduced me to it, Sky, it's just been my favorite. So it'll be a lot of fun. Playing with some of our friends every week who's going to show up on Sunday, and we can just we can talk ball all Sunday mornings. So it'll be great. So good to see you guys again.
Yeah, likewise. And I'll jump ahead a little bit. I mean, it's cheating, I suppose, but fire me. Sunday lives are my favorite thing about Razzball, fantasy football, behind the scenes, chatting with you guys who like we rotate the squad on Sundays, we vacation, we do things. I'm gone a bunch. Like I'm tuning in from various states, traveled in that season, but Sunday lives are a lot of fun. 2 hours before kickoff every Sunday morning, we do a start sit show right here on Sundays. So make sure you tune in. I'm very excited for the listener leagues. We've done Razzball for a while. It's a blast. Obviously, I love that. The Guillotine League, Derek, I echo all your sentiments, and the PPR League is fun as well. So we get high-level content creators. We get Jamie, Bob, some other people who have been a part of us for a long time. We have another bunch of people who are going to get back in the flow here, and I'm so excited to get to know people more personally as well, which would be fun through those leagues. Have a little friendly fire and some smack chats. That'll be a lot of fun too. So it'll be a great season. I'm real stoked to see who the Niners' fifth string running back is going to be in Week 14 that we pick off waivers this year. Like, it's going to be a really good season, and I'm very excited for football to be back, gentlemen. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in here. I am your host, Sky Guasco. We got David Cruz at Cruiser128, Jefferson _ Deuce Uno, and Derek Favret as well, Derek _ Favret, and Matty Styles tuning out early at Styles08. Everything at Razzball RazzballNFL on X. You can find us right here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss any alerts. It really does help us out. And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Word of mouth is always the best, so make sure you hype us up. We really appreciate it so we can get these numbers up, head back into the season. And, of course, you can find us on the podcast side for those of you on the go as well. It's always a pleasure. Never a chore, everybody. We appreciate all of you hanging out with us this evening. Thank you again for tuning in to the Razzball Fantasy Football Show. Go to the website as well for all your free content. For now, football.razzball.com. For Dave and Jeff and Derek and Matt and all of our dogs, I'm your host, Sky Guasco. We'll catch you next time on the Razzball Fantasy Football Show. Have a wonderful night.